Seattle is known for the beauty of its surroundings, spectacular mountain and water scenery, a healthy place to live. But there's something happening to our waterways that puts that beautiful picture at risk. Every year, rain washes millions of gallons of raw sewage and untreated stormwater into Seattle's creeks, lakes, rivers, and Elliott Bay. This happens because in many Seattle neighborhoods, both sewage from our homes and businesses and stormwater runoff from our buildings, roads, and parking lots collects in a single pipe. During dry weather, sewage flows to the wastewater treatment plant. But when it rains, stormwater runoff overwhelms the pipe that carries raw sewage. The raw sewage and untreated stormwater overflows into the nearest waterway. In 2012, this happened hundreds of times, releasing 154 million gallons of raw sewage and untreated stormwater into our waterways, creating risks to human and environmental health. Seattle Public Utilities is working on projects to reduce these overflows. We're preparing the plan to protect Seattle's waterways, and we want your input. Here's a brief overview of the 10-year plan and ways to provide input. Seattle is considering two alternatives to protect its waterways, as well as a no-action alternative that's used as a comparison to the other alternatives. The plan could focus solely on reducing sewage overflows. We call this the Sewage Overflow Reduction Alternative. First, let's take a closer look at the Sewage Overflow Reduction Alternative. There are three strategies that Seattle uses to reduce sewage overflows. We make minor modifications to the existing sewer system. This allows us to make better and more reliable use of existing capacity. We can also build natural drainage systems to keep stormwater out of the sewer. An example is a rain garden, a planted area which catches stormwater runoff from our roofs, streets, and sidewalks. Rain gardens can be built along the side of the road or on private property. Property owners who disconnect their roof drains from the sewer system and channel the runoff into a rain garden or cistern are eligible for rebates from the Rainwise program. We can reduce sewage overflows by building underground storage facilities to temporarily hold raw sewage and polluted stormwater runoff during a storm. When the storm passes, the flows are sent to the wastewater treatment plant. We're evaluating 4 options within this alternative. Each option emphasizes a specific approach to reducing sewage overflows using the strategies we just described. With the neighborhood storage option, we would build underground storage facilities in 10 neighborhoods. The facilities vary in size, providing up to 6 million gallons of storage. This option would build the most underground storage facilities throughout the city. We would also build natural drainage projects in Ballard and make sewer system improvements in North Union Bay. With the shared storage option, Seattle and King County would jointly build 3 underground storage facilities. In these neighborhoods, we would use the same strategies described previously to address sewage overflows. In the Duwamish neighborhood, we would send raw sewage and untreated stormwater to the treatment facility King County proposes to build. With the West Ship Canal Tunnel option, Seattle and King County would jointly build a 2.7-mile storage tunnel along the west end of the Ship Canal. The tunnel would address sewage overflows in Ballard, Fremont, and Wallingford. In Magnolia, raw sewage and untreated stormwater runoff would be sent to the existing West Point wastewater treatment plant. We would use the same strategies described previously to address overflows in these neighborhoods. With the Ship Canal Tunnel option, Seattle and King County would jointly build a 2.9-mile storage tunnel along the length of the Ship Canal to address sewage overflows in adjacent neighborhoods. We would use the same strategies described previously to address overflows in these neighborhoods. Now let's look at the Sewage and Stormwater Pollution Reduction Alternative. This alternative provides a new opportunity to use an integrated approach to reduce both sewage overflows and polluted stormwater. Previously, Seattle Public Utilities implemented sewage overflow control and stormwater management as separate and distinct programs. Recognizing that polluted stormwater runoff has a big impact on water quality, the City of Seattle negotiated an agreement called a consent decree, which allows us to prepare a plan that integrates sewage overflow reduction projects with stormwater control projects to achieve greater environmental benefit than sewage overflow alone. With this alternative, Seattle would also build sewage overflow reduction projects using one of the 4 options described earlier. In addition, projects to reduce polluted stormwater runoff would be implemented in these 5 areas before some of the sewage overflow reduction projects. Seattle uses 3 strategies to reduce stormwater runoff and improve water quality. In some areas, we can reduce the amount of pollutants in stormwater runoff by building rain gardens, installing filtering devices on storm drains, or building retention ponds. We can slow the rate of stormwater entering the sewer system by building rain gardens or installing cisterns. We can also use street sweeping to reduce the amount of pollutants on the road before stormwater runoff picks them up and carries them into our waterways. Now that you know more about the plan to protect Seattle's waterways, we'd like your input. Seattle is preparing an Environmental Impact Statement, or EIS, to document how the plan could affect people and the environment. Scoping will happen from now through June 20, 2013. Scoping is the first step in preparing the EIS. During this period, we're asking for your help to identify the issues Seattle Public Utilities should consider in the EIS. Follow the link on your screen to complete an online questionnaire. Please submit your comments by June 20, 2013.